From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast with Scott Sander.
Welcome to the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast. I'm Scott Sander. On this episode, a business that just landed a first-of-its-kind partnership with a major professional sports franchise. Pooled employer plans, how they're leveling the workforce playing field for small business owners. And get expert advice on how to create a safe home office.
Every business is unique and has a target audience. If you own or manage a business, Circulus Digital Media can help you connect and grow your customer base with turnkey digital solutions that are nimble, offering best-in-class results, service, and support to reach a bigger customer base, allowing you to pinpoint a specific audience down to the smallest details. Get outside the city, the state, span the globe. Put Circulus Digital Media to work for you. Get started now at circulusdigital.com. That's circulusdigital.com.
Welcome to Business, Equity, and Opportunities. I'm Scott Sander. Every week we strive to provide entrepreneurs and small business owners like you with useful information about how to start and grow your own business and insights and best practices to then help you sustain it. We have meaningful conversations with business owners and community leaders who share their experiences and resources to inspire success in others. Our category should be familiar to you by now: getting started, gaining access to capital, keeping up with the week in business, handling accounting and bookkeeping issues, and running your business day to day. We also focus on an industry and wrap things up with a local success story. We're here with a new show every Sunday on Wish TV, also live streams on wishtv.com, and we post each of our 7 weekly segments plus past shows on our website. It's BE&O show.com. Watch them, scan the QR code with your phone after each segment to get straight to those to review. While you're there, sign up and listen to our Business, Equity, and Opportunities podcast on the All Indiana Podcast Network, and subscribe to our weekly newsletter that we update every Tuesday, more frequently if need be. Here's what's ahead this hour on Business, Equity, and Opportunity. Discover important capital resources becoming available in 2024. See the players in the NBA All-Star Pitch Competition. Pooled employer plans, how they're leveling the workforce playing field for small business owners. Get expert advice on how to create a safe home office. And learn how Bosma Enterprises training program is creating workforce opportunities. Plus, our success story. We're leading off with our Getting Started segment. Customer acquisition, certainly a critical part of starting a new business. You may know what your business can do, but finding the right opportunities to showcase it may not come easily. An exciting example, a business that just landed a first-of-its-kind partnership with a major professional sports franchise. It's happening for Fishers-based technology startup SpokeNote. Founder John Wexler fills us in.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Getting started.
Yeah, so at SpokeNote, we give you the ability to add video to anything. We do that with our flagship product, which is a sticker. Basically allows you to scan the code, record or upload a video, and then wherever you put that sticker, the video plays. We think of it as the digital equivalent of a sticky note. We launched a partnership with the Pacers. It's the first in Major League sports history in the U.S. Baseball, football, basketball, hockey, soccer. No team in the country has ever had an active QR code on a jersey. And so what we've done with the Pacers is we've taken our SpokeNote code and we've affixed that right to the front of the jersey where the traditional patch sponsor would go. And instead of just our logo, it's a scannable code. So if you're watching a game and you have a shot where someone's lining up for a free throw, let's say, and you've got a good front shot, you can actually scan that code right there on your television. You can scan it in a good print, let's say a magazine article, or if you're at the game and you're up close enough and you can scan that jersey, you're able to get that where you get content from the team. They'll continue to rotate behind the scenes and inside and exclusive content directly originating from that patch. Well, we met the Pacers almost 2 years ago, and we were introduced through a mutual friend. And it really started out with me pitching the Pacers on the business use cases of how you could engage with fans, how you could do events, how you could have player and mascot appearances. So when Boomer goes out, you could hand out cards maybe with videos for the participants. And over the months and really then ultimately the last year and a half, the conversation continued, but we never really landed on a big thing. And the Pacers came to me and they said, hey, we're looking for someone to put on the front of the jersey. We want a tech company, we want local, we want something that we think is about ready to break out. And you actually fit that mold. I was honored and humbled to get that call, and we were able to put a program together that makes sense for everybody. And basically, this is a proof of concept for us and the Pacers to prove sports marketing can really boost a brand from what I would consider kind of a local regional thing. I mean, we sell spoke notes a lot of places, but we're known here. Now we're kind of blowing this up onto a national scene, and we're seeing the sales and we're seeing the inquiries come in from all over the country. Goodness. So when the press release went out and the story started dropping in the media, we received phone calls from sports teams in pretty much every league. We actually got calls from 2 leagues on top of that. So major sports entities are reaching out to us. Now, some of them want us to be a sponsor, right? So they're looking for us to buy. There are other cases where they're reaching out to us to integrate our technology into their product. We got a call from one of the longest running television shows in history, a game show. They reached out and wanted to find out, is there a partnership or something we could do? And of course, you're humbled when those calls come in, very excited as a team. And so we're engaging with a whole bunch of different people on various conversations. Yeah, it's fun because, people think of the overnight success story where, oh, that happened and now they've blown up. Well, a lot of times that band or that artist or that company that appears to have just erupted out of nowhere, they spent years and years toiling away at the basics and what it takes to be successful. And so as a team, we've really been focused on building a company that will withstand the long haul. And so, as we approach spring of next year, that'll be our 3rd anniversary. And the company will be, at that point, beginning to scale up. It's really fascinating to see all the work that goes into this. And for those that haven't ever done a startup like this or been part of this kind of experience, it's a little bit of a new thing to see how you can catch lightning in a bottle sometimes. And when that happens, you really have to capitalize. And so I think we're prepared. We expected to be successful. And now we just have to deliver and execute as a great partner with the Pacers. Yeah, so we have several things in the pipeline, several industry-specific applications for Spoke Note, several different channel opportunities to sell. So if you look at large retail, for instance, we're talking to several of the largest retailers in the country about placing Spoke Note so that when consumers walk in and they're ready to send a greeting card or give a gift to someone, they can easily grab a pack of Spoke Note stickers, record a video, and put that right on the item that they're going to give to someone. And so retail push is our next major, really 2024 theme. And so as we look at building out the team, we're going to be adding in the way of sales and especially retail expertise. So someone that's taken a $10 package from concept to customers' hands, that's the kind of things that we're thinking about as a company that we need to add in order to really be successful in 24 and beyond. Oh, it's incredibly fulfilling to be the founder and CEO of a company like this, right? I've been a believer, obviously, from day one. I wouldn't have started if I didn't believe in it and I didn't think it was something special. The early team that bought into this and believed, very special to me, and this moment is special, right? So as you see more and more people begin to finish our sentences, that tells me that we're onto something here. And so, for me, I'm just incredibly thankful to have a team that believes in this, to see that customers understand it. When we're out and about and we're talking to people and showing our product, when they say, yeah, and I could, that's when you have a unique moment. And so we're just trying to do our very best to deliver on the promise that Spoke Note can become.
Let's talk dollars and cents. Time to take a look at accounting and bookkeeping. If you're a small business owner who's finding it difficult to compete with the big companies when it comes to providing retirement benefits, you may want to look into what's called a pooled employer plan. Courtney Kincaid later.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Accounting and Bookkeeping.
Today, I was going to talk about pooled employer plans, which are really great for small businesses. So pooled employer plans are like a 401k, but just as the name says, they are from pooled participants. And so this was set up as a result of the Secure Act in 2019. and then some other congressional changes subsequent to that. And what those changes really did was make it easier for diverse employers to pool their resources together. And that gives them an opportunity to lower their risk as they offer some retirement plans to their employees. So this is a great time of year to talk about this as people are, really focused on in the new year, how are we going to offer benefits to our employees to make sure that we are, a competitive employer. And as we look at survey after survey, more people are looking at what other benefits other than salary can you offer. And so the traditional 401k has much more risk, fiduciary risk, in offering it. It's also, so that makes it more time consuming, right? For people who maybe only have a few employees. Is that a risk you want to take on? The pooled employer plan is a much better option because it takes that risk and it moves that over to another entity. And so it gives a little bit of a safer option for those smaller employers. So I'm here usually to talk about CPAs, and this is an area sometimes where small businesses or entrepreneurs might not think of how their CPA can help them. CPAs are not necessarily the individual who are offering these plans, but as the CPA looks holistically at your organization, they're thinking about how you can be benefited and how you can benefit your staff. So they can help connect you. Traditional and providers of 401ks are also beginning to offer these PPP plans, and they can help connect you with a good resource. PPP plans do typically have a little bit less diversity in them. The investment options might be limited, but still, again, a great option for those employers that don't want to take on that risk. And so your CPA also is looking at your whole financial picture. And so how are you making sure that you are setting yourself up for success, that you can work this into your business plan, that you can use this as a strategic tool in setting you up for success in the future. In addition to there being less administrative burden on the provider, there's also a tax benefit. So the tax benefit actually comes into play when you're setting up the PPP arrangement. And so just making sure that you're talking to your CPA to know that you're taking advantage of that tax credit. So when presenting it to employees, making sure you're working with that provider is really important. So when you're out shopping around for who you want to work with, just like you would traditionally a 401k provider, there are other benefits that a lot of these providers could give to your employees that also, are tangential benefits. So financial planning overall, good decision making, budgeting. The more we talk to young people, and that's who people are looking to hire, that's really important to them. Their financial health, understanding it, and that is another benefit that a lot of these providers offer.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities, and time to talk about running your business day to day. Home Office Safety Week begins today. We're talking to Susan Kotowski, the president of the Human Factors and Ergonomics Society, based in Washington, D.C.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities, running your business day to day.
President of the Human Factors and Ergonomics Society. First new thing I've learned, I didn't even know that was a thing. Tell me about the society.
It is. It's a great thing. So Human Factors is an area of work where we're looking at how we work in and with our work environment. And so it's across every single industry and, area of work. And so we cover everything.
It's an area, particularly work from home, that has just exploded really since the start of the pandemic. Would you say that has also fueled an awareness of, okay, if we're going to do this, how do we make it sure it's not just the kitchen table and whatever bar stool we have nearby?
Which we've seen a lot of. Absolutely. We've seen a big uptick. I mean, remote work has always been around, but the pandemic certainly brought, pushed that much more prevalent, and we're seeing a lot of remote and hybrid work here to stay.
So, and the audience we're speaking to today is an interesting one. Our show focuses on entrepreneurs, small business owners. So you may be speaking to them both as someone who does the work from home or also might employ people who decide between them and the boss that, hey, this works for us as well. Generally speaking, what thoughts do you have for people who may just be setting this up for the very first time?
Yeah, so a couple of things. Remember that this is going to be a primary workspace, so you need to treat it like that in that, you're going to be spending a significant amount of time. So we need to set up a space that's going to be comfortable, that's going to not create discomfort over time, and be just really usable overall.
And then there is this week that we're talking about security and safety specifically. What do you hope that people will get out of the week? What are your goals?
A couple of things I'll hit kind of both sides from the security side, thinking of those things with remote work and Zoom meetings and all the different, web-based meetings, making sure those are set up in a secure way so you don't have people in there that you don't want, that your passwords are strong, and that you have secure storage for documents, both physical documents, electronic documents. But again, on the side, I'm most passionate about the ergonomic side of things. Things like looking at how your space is set up. Again, your kitchen table and a bar stool are probably not ideal. So putting a little bit of investment in there, and it doesn't have to be, $1,000 chair and a stand table. There's things we can do with what you have in your space. So if you are working on a super low budget, maybe your kitchen table does end up being a primary workspace, but look for an alternative as well. Maybe a kitchen counter where on occasion you can go from one height to another. So we can sit sometimes, we can stand sometimes. It allows us to change posture that increases our blood flow, which helps with discomfort, decreasing that. It's also going to help you stay more aware and engaged. So that doesn't even involve buying anything, but just looking for what you have already available to work with in your space. If you do have a desk already, making sure it's set up to a good height for you. If it's not adjustable, a lot of things can be adjusted. You can stick some things underneath the legs of your desk to raise it up a little bit and so forth. Super common one is that your laptop is your primary computer. So we see that all the time. A couple of things I would definitely recommend. One being, use your laptop for the computing power. Get a couple extra things. Get an external monitor, get a keyboard, and get a mouse. So put the computer off to the side. If you have one monitor, that's going to go right in front of you. And then have your external keyboard and mouse there. So you're using that primary monitor that's set up to a good height versus your laptop monitor.
That could be an intimidating thing for somebody who has long ago made the switch to full laptop. I mean, we all started on the PC or the Apple equivalent of it. But once you get your whole world into that laptop, the idea of switching back seems intimidating. I've recently actually had the opportunity to look at these ports and whatnot. It's actually not that bad. There are companies that make little widgets that can connect it all in a heartbeat.
Super easy. So yeah, if you need to be mobile, you just, take everything right off that dock and you're mobile again. But if you are using it long term, it is a much, much better situation to have that external monitor, the full size keyboard, a regular mouse. So you're looking up at your monitor at a right height, not down at your laptop, monitor, and trying to type on a condensed keyboard and use a little mouse pad all at the same time. So in the long run, it's worth the investment. You can get a decent monitor. They're not super expensive. Keyboards are very reasonable, as is a mouse. So it's worth the little bit of an extra investment in the long term for sure.
You've given us the carrot of these things will make you more comfortable. Kind of apply a little stick here. If we don't do these things, what are some of the problems we can invite on ourselves?
Yeah, and there's definitely research out there. I've done a lot and with other colleagues as well. And in the literature, you'll find it does not take long for you to start seeing and feeling discomfort. So a lot of the neck strain, the fatigue in the shoulders and the tightness and so forth, eye fatigue and so forth are kind of the big ones. Low back discomfort and fatigue there as well. from just staying in one kind of confined space that's not well fit to you. And when you're, you feel that discomfort, you feel that fatigue, you're not working to the best of your ability, and you're going to see that, in the effect of that in other areas too.
Well, and there you're speaking directly to the entrepreneurs. They certainly want maximum productivity while keeping those that they work with healthy as well, and themselves too. Susan, we appreciate your time today, and best of luck, best in business, and best of comfort to you too in your home office.
You as well. Thank you.
Our thanks again to all the contributors who joined us for this episode of the Business Equity and Opportunities podcast. We hope you found it enlightening, useful, and inspiring. You'll find more information about the show on our website, beoshow.com. You can watch Business Equity and Opportunities Sunday mornings at 10 on Wish TV or live stream it through wishtv.com. Each week we provide 7 full segments with topics ranging from how to get started and how to access capital to the day-to-day running of your business and questions about accounting and bookkeeping. We feature business news and trends and always share a success story from one of our contributors. Join us next time for more insights into the world of small business. Be sure to sign up for our Business Equity and Opportunities newsletter to get even more valuable, up-to-date information. And if you have any questions or you'd like to be part of our show, please email us. The address is beo@wishtv.com. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Scott Sander. Thanks for listening.
Watch the Business Equity and Opportunity Show on Wish TV and access all of our content and share it on demand anytime at beoshow.com. You can find more podcasts from Wish TV on the All Indiana Podcast Network at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.